Hey, welcome to the channel. Today I'm about to check out Rooster Teeth fucking death battle, Scarlet Witch versus Zatanna DC. Like I said in the previous video, my vote was Scarlet Witch because come on, team Marvel. I think I've seen Zatanna in Batman Brave and the Bold like a long while ago, but I didn't know like who she was at the time. But to me, for the most part, she just looks like a fucking street magician. But for all we know, she could be like a cosmic being, such and such. But still, sticking with Scarlet Witch, I've seen the ish she been doing. The comic, she said she said it is done, and then poof, wiped out the fucking mutants. Imagine that. And not, I don't know much about Zatanna, but if she's good, she's good. But for now, I'm still sticking with Scarlet Witch and such and such. So yeah, let's begin.
The Scarlet Witch, Marvel's Crimson Queen of Chaos.
Zatanna, DC's magnificent mistress of magic.
There are those who wield the mystic arts like gods to reshape creation to their whims.
And there are those who just like to put on a hell of a show.
Yeah.
Either way, don't mess with them if you know what's good
I'm
for
saying,
you.
I'm not sure it's like a
These ways
magician.
my boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win
A
a
death battle.
Though we may drift day by day in a world seemingly concrete and eternal, the fabric of reality is in fact more delicate than we might dare to
Yep.
wonder. Imagine every single iota of it, every star, galaxy, universe, all within the grasp of a single mortal woman.
Ooh.
To control at her whim. Imagine the danger we're all in if you piss her off.
We don't have to, because her name is Wanda Maximoff,
The Scarlet Witch.
As a kid, she and her brother Pietro were poor Romani, who were lucky enough to be turned into superpowered
The twin sister of Quicksilver, Brotherhood. Okay.
freaks by the High Evolutionary.
Unable to control her apparently new magical abilities, it wasn't
Falconry?
long before Wanda lost control and was branded a
Wait,
witch.
not Magneto's daughter? Okay. Surprise. Not a mutant. Surprise again.
Until who would show up but the mutant master of magnetism himself,
Magneto.
Definitely giving off some big dad energy.
Wait,
there.
but if she. Wait, but if. Then why Quicksilver, but. Not Quicksilver's sibling, but in the X-Men, that's Quicksilver's. I don't know, bro. I have no
To
idea.
return Magneto's kindness, she and Pietro joined his Brotherhood of Evil Mutants.
Okay.
Great name there, Magneto. Solid branding.
And it wasn't long before she traded her supervillain creds for a membership with the Avengers, which might have been a bit too much for poor Wanda because she definitely drew the superpower short stick.
By waving her hands, Wanda could create small random events known as hexes, subtly altering the probability of any event happening.
That's a cool way of saying she could do like one magic-y thing per fight and then be totally useless. An energy blast here, some telekinesis there, a force field if she's feeling frisky. Not exactly the same oomph as, say, the God of Thunder or the Jolly Green
Woo!
Worldbreaker.
Exactly.
But something strange was happening. Over time, her hexes increased in breadth and power, as if there was more to Wanda's powers than met the eye. She learned to slow and stop time, drain and absorb energy, duplicate herself and others, teleport to different dimensions, and even strip others of their powers entirely.
Oh, bro,
It was
W,
almost as
bro.
if there was more to
Pre-W.
Wanda than just being some random science experiment. Let's ask our resident expert on the deepest trenches of character history. Jocelyn, if you will.
In reality, Wanda's powers weren't entirely the result of the High Evolutionary, nor was she the mutant daughter of Magneto, as he's claimed. Her powers weren't just some simple hexes. She might as well have been a god. Until now, she had merely been dipping her toes into the vast ocean known as chaos magic. Though her powers may have seemed to be the byproduct of science, they were in reality the gift of the Lovecraftian elder god Cthon, who attempted to turn Wanda into his future vessel.
Reminds me of my summer by the
Nasty.
sea with
Like
old
on some
Uncle
Ghost Rider
Yoxta.
shit.
In time, Wanda discovered she could alter the probability of anything she could think of, turning a mathematical impossibility into an absolute certainty, and vice versa. Wanda's powers kept growing and growing, turning her into a being strong enough to rival even the mightiest of gods. Like, literally, Wanda's chaos magic is counterpart to the Phoenix Force, the embodiment of cosmic order. You know, that fiery...
While Wanda defeated the Phoenix Force with Hope Summers, Hope was using Wanda's own powers at the time. Regardless, her chaos magic being equal to the Phoenix Force had already been
Space
established.
chicken that can destroy the universe? Wanda fought it, and even briefly erased it from existence.
At her height, the Scarlet Witch achieved total control over energy, the weather, the elements, your mind, your body, your soul, all of time, all of matter, and
Bro, is
all
this
of
even a
reality.
battle or
She
just
can
a
wipe you
fucking
from existence
warm-up?
with a thought and rend the very fabric of the universe as though it were tissue paper.
She isn't even limited to chaos magic either. They might not have been what made her a god, but the High Evolutionary's experiments did make her more receptive to channeling magical energy. Oh, maybe that's why Mama Boomstick always warned me about redheads.
She's so receptive, in fact, that Wanda is the lone nexus being of the 616 reality, a focal point for the universe's magical energies, and one that belongs equally to all other timelines.
It's no wonder she was considered a candidate for Sorcerer Supreme. I mean,
Yep.
shit, why wasn't she? She
Yeah.
might be a walking, talking Infinity Gauntlet.
Well, she may have the power of a god, but she's still stuck with a human's body that can be overpowered by physically stronger foes. Though, she also survived being shot with a black matter bullet capable of, and I quote, world-shattering energy. So there's that.
She does
Wow.
technically need to be able to think of a spell in order to get it to happen, so she could theoretically be blitzed. But she's also blocked Thor's galaxy-crossing hammer, kept up with dudes like X-Man who can fight within plank time, and even amp her own speed beyond the concept of speed herself.
Despite being far and away
She
the
defeated Dormammu. I mean, no surprise, but still unstuck herself and Quicksilver from
mightiest
time.
among Earth's mightiest
You have
heroes,
eliminated
Wanda
the mutant
resented
gene.
the
Yeah,
pressure of her
I've been
incredible
said that.
power. She actually wanted a quiet life as a wife and a mother.
But because no one in comics is allowed to have a happily ever after, that life was taken from her by literal Satan. Not
Mephisto?
the last time he do this too. Wanda snapped and she took the multiverse with her.
By tapping into an
Well, like,
inconceivable and
actually
unknowable
Satan.
pool of energy known as the Life Force, Wanda rewrote all of reality,
Ooh.
creating a new universe where life was just how she
hold up.
wanted it.
No matter whose lives she had to change, in this House of M, she had her family back, but at the
Okay,
cost
well,
of her
Wanda's sanity was already fragile at the time, but according to both Doctor Doom and the Marvel Encyclopedia, channeling its energy drives a person insane regardless of their mental state.
And it wasn't long before it all came crashing down around her. Once her family and friends discovered the lie of their new lives and turned against her, she uttered 3 fateful words and erased nearly all of mutant
Yep.
kind. No
More mutants. I thought it was like, it is
Wanda
done.
weaved her magic throughout all of existence, created cracks across reality which spread throughout the omniverse, and threatened to annihilate all of creation, the entirety of Marvel's infinite cosmology, everything that ever was.
shit got dark. And while Wanda has worked to keep her powers in check since then,
Yeah, hold
that
up.
threat
While Wanda has not connected with the Life Force again, she strongly implies the Uncanny Avengers 2012 issue 2 that she
is
can.
always there. But honestly,
Well, she
that
kind of-
sounds
she
more
broke
like a
it.
problem for anyone who's stupid enough to get in her way.
Both a blessing and a curse, a help and a hex. Such is the true power of the Scarlet Witch.
Bro, that's my W right
This
there.
episode of Death Battle is sponsored by the Northmen.
Remind me why you need to be holding a god-slaying axe to watch a movie trailer.
Oh.
Weapons of cosmic, like a Viking version of Hamlet, but this
Hey, a Viking version of Hamlet. Shit,
Go
I'm
see
like,
the Northmen
Willem
exclusively
Dafoe
in
there?
theaters April
Shit.
22nd.
nice.
Zatanna.
I would have to take it back.
Go back, right?
Come one, come all, to see the magnificent Zatanna Zatara. For never was there a greater professor of prestidigital performance.
AKA magic! Except Zatanna spells aren't just smoke and mirrors, they're the real deal, so you're really getting your money's worth.
She learned
Okay.
everything she knew from her father, Giovanni Zatara, who put his powers to good use as one of DC's very
I'm sorry, bro. I already got this W, boy. I can already tell. Scarlet Witch got the fucking dub.
first superheroes.
No joke, he's the guy who taught Batman everything he knows about escape artistry. He debuted the same issue as Superman, and the young Zatanna was more than happy to serve as his assistant, learning everything he knew about the cutthroat world of entertainment. Oh, and cape shit too, but the former is way worse.
She
Nasty.
inherited her father's incredible mystical abilities as well. Essentially, anything Zatanna thinks of, she can make real. And she focuses this absurdly powerful ability by speaking her desired effect backwards. Her father based this technique on the diaries of Leonardo da Vinci, who some theorize wrote backwards in order to hide his ideas from the repressive medieval Catholic Church.
Or because he was left-handed.
Yeah, that's another theory, if you hate fun.
And Zatanna's apparently big-brained enough that she has no problem speaking backwards at the drop of a hat. Like when this one dude kept reversing time in the middle of her sentences, she started speaking in palindromes so that she'd still be speaking backwards no matter what. I mean, you know what they say, Wiz.
Okay, so that's a way to block out, I guess, Scarlet Witch's time
With her
thing.
magic, Zatanna has bent the laws of reality to her whims. She's transmuted matter on an atomic level, teleported across dimensions, commanded the elements, turned invisible, removed powers, cast illusions, read and controlled minds, traveled through and stopped time, and can even wipe people from existence with a single word.
It might not seem obvious from that
What?
magic castle getup,
But you know,
Zatanna-
hers is more, you know, universal, multi-universal. So you know, Scarlet still got that.
one of the most
But she just need one word. She has to use like 3.
powerful
Shit.
sorcerers in DC, like the time she battled the Time Tailor
What-
Zor, an old enemy of the Spectre.
What about
You
her
know,
versus
the
Dr.
Angel
Fate?
of God's divine wrath?
In order to defeat an opponent of such unimaginable power, Zatanna focused her magical might into shattering the boundaries of reality. She reached out beyond the very comic panels themselves and pulled Zor's entire magical universe down around him. She
What?
literally handled all of reality like it was a sheet of paper and crumpled it in her hands.
That might seem completely incomprehensibly impossible to us, but it's all a matter of belief. Literally. As long as Zatanna believes she can do something with her magic, she'll do it.
As
So-
she puts it, her magic is essentially asserting one reality, then replacing it with another. This is similar to other magical characters like Dr. Fate and Green Lantern,
Okay.
whose powers have been stated to work the exact same way.
But it's not like any rando can do magic by wishing on a star. Zatanna is genetically predisposed to this kind of magical reality warping. Her mom was in actuality a Homo Magi, a subrace of humans that are naturally adept at magic.
So it's no wonder that
Wow.
Zatanna became an invaluable member of both the Justice League of America and Justice League Dark. The Shadow the Hedgehog version, basically.
Zatanna harnessed an entire year's worth of
Nasty.
sunlight into a single energy blast, created ruptures across all of space and time throughout the DC multiverse, and has even claimed she's as powerful as Superman himself. Pre-Crisis Superman, in case you were wondering. Her only limit is her
Bro,
imagination
there's so
and
many
will.
Supermen that I don't even. When you say pre-crisis, I'm not phased by it because there's just so many. Like, bro.
In fact, her backward speaking is mostly a stagecraft tradition meant to boost her concentration.
In a pinch, she can cast a spell with a single thud, and I doubt anyone's winning a quick draw with her. She's matched superheroes like Martian Manhunter, who's scanned every mind on Earth in a blank instant. Or how about Dr. Fate, whose magic traveled across the universe at the completely immeasurable velocity of God?
Zatanna has fended off countless reality-shattering
The fuck
threats
is that a
like Eldritch
calculation?
Upside-down Man, Primordial Darkness, that is evil incarnate, and the Void Beyond Creation, Pralaya.
This
Somehow
Shadow
puts up
lady
with
beat
Constantine.
All of DC Comics, all of
Nice.
creation, everything.
John
Gods, demons,
Constantine.
rabbits, and spandex, everything. And Zatanna's magic was strong enough to hold her back.
And then, after secretly
Oh, the
implanting
magic used against Pralaya was cast through constructs of Zatanna and Constantine, both of which were created from the real Zatanna's essence and stated to contain everything Zatanna is. The fuck is
inside
that?
Pralaya, she weaved a spell within him to literally regrow all of reality back in seconds.
Zatanna tricked a being older than God and then blew her ass up from the inside with a whole new
Wait,
omniverse.
older than God? Does he mean like father of like Lucifer, Morningstar? I'm not talking about biblical shit, but biblical DC of like the one, you know, that God.
Goddamn Dabra.
Such is the almighty power of Zatanna's will. Should it falter, though, or should her focus be disrupted, it could all come crashing down like a house of cards. Belief is a fragile thing, after all,
nice.
and her powers were weakened for a time after she lost belief in herself.
And she's definitely got one big weak point. She's a huge daddy's girl.
Despite her amazing career, she has
Oh.
struggled within herself to live up to her father's legacy, especially after his heroic death.
And this MFer has died a lot of times. So Z's therapy can't be cheap, especially after dating John Constantine. Oh, I can just smell the lager and self-loathing from here. No, wait, that's me.
Questionable romance aside, Zatanna is a consummate professional raised on one singular principle. The show must go on, and she'll always finish strong.
How did your
with a
dad?
standing
Okay.
ovation.
Okay, that's not what I expected. I thought this will be a tough one, but I'ma still stick with Scarlet Witch. But she kind of crazy, bro. If I think it can happen, it'll happen. So if she believes she's gonna beat Scarlet Witch, she's gonna win. Nope. I'm not switching. I'ma stick with Scarlet Witch till the fucking end. Oh, bro. I'm not gonna switch.
This show is sponsored
Better help.
by BetterHelp
Better
Online
help.
Therapy.
Death battle. Y'all
Religion
get the gist.
therapist, so you don't have to see anyone on help online therapy. P.com
Yep.
slash with magic.
I beg. I lost last time with Harley. I need this W.
Thank you. And for my first trick,
The fuck?
ta-da! You, what sort of two-bit sorceress do you think you are? Two-bit? Perhaps I was being generous.
Can't get happy in the beginning, man. Nice. Superman.
I'd say this calls for an avenger.
Woohoo! Woo! Let's go! Oh! Oh! Oh, she gonna pull out Batman now? Oh, Wonder Woman. Oh, no, let's go!
Do you know the difference between you and I?
What's that?
Well, I think the difference is presentation.
Woo!
And I know
Hey,
the trick.
the witch who controls the room, but then she can't believe she don't.
When I see one.
I fucking knew it, but that's a little too early, don't you think?
Universes. You can't run forever. Now make like a magician and
Disappear! Ugh. Woo! Let's go! Let's go! Oh no, this kinda cool though.
A disappearing act was the first thing Dad ever taught me. And for my final trick, no more witches. And that's our show, ladies and germs.
Fair play. I saw that coming. I saw that coming. You even saw. I saw that coming. No, before the stats, I had a feeling Scarlet Witch was gonna win. But then now after the stats, bro, I could see death. But me, I don't turn back on gang, boy. Why? Why, Wanda? How? How could you let this happen? I
Now,
lost
that's
2 in a
magic
row.
trick that's to die for.
Analyzing this matchup was like walking on a tightrope. It could fall either way at any point.
Exactly.
Because at the end of the day, both these ladies could do basically anything with their magic.
Exactly.
All they had to do was think and shit would happen. They were totally even. At her peak, Wanda was
Okay,
able
hold
to...
up. Results: Scarlet, more documented showings of her full power. Could counter most of Zatanna. Yep. Equal, similar, blah, blah. More exploitable weakness. Fair enough. Could counter most of Wanda. No downside to using full power on, unlike Wanda. Superior training. Fair enough. Similar power and speed.
threaten the stability of all creation.
And at Zatanna's best, she was able to hold back Prolaya, who could do the exact same thing. And despite some differences, the omniversal cosmologies of Marvel and DC Comics are roughly equivalent in size and scope. All that was left for us to look at was their weaknesses.
While both were as powerful as one another, Wanda needed to tap into the life force to reach that pinnacle, and doing so threatened her sanity.
Let's take a closer look at the events surrounding House of M, where Wanda's
Fuck, I
powers were
missed
at
it.
their
Wanda needed to tap into the life force
Wanda has fought several multiversal beings without using the life force, such as Nyx and Chaos, but she requires it to reach her more potent omniversal level of
to
power.
reach that pinnacle, and doing so threatened her sanity.
Let's take a closer look at the events surrounding House of M, where Wanda's powers were at their maximum.
Despite admitting that she was way stronger, Doctor Strange managed to get the best of Wanda with a cool head and a spell that briefly knocked her out cold.
His wits against her mental instability were enough to turn the tide.
To be clear, this instability definitely wouldn't affect her power. She was still strong enough to create a completely new alternate reality and then erase it just as easily. What it would do is leave her open.
Also, take her No More Mutant spell. As insanely powerful as it was to affect the whole of Marvel's creation,
Okay.
it wasn't entirely successful. There was still a tiny portion of Earth's mutant population left unaffected.
Okay, Strange and Frost exact effect has not been clarified, but they both were attempting to interfere, and there is little other explanation for why some mutant genes remain.
Likely due to interference from Strange and Emma Frost.
Against Zatanna, who is just as strong and not losing her mind, she wouldn't be able to afford that kind of lapse, even for an instant.
On the other hand, Zatanna has managed to maintain her willpower fighting foes just as strong as the Scarlet Witch, so she didn't have the same kind of exploitable weakness.
And remember, she doesn't actually need to say her spells backwards.
It helps with her concentration, but all her spells come from her mental impulses, just like Wanda. She's consistently pulled off
Okay,
non-verbal spells.
Wanda has implied that she could resurrect herself after death, but her method of doing so is so vague and non-specific. Zatanna's capability to erase powers in existence could prevent her from such
the past, even
resurrection.
against beings as strong as Prolaya.
In the end, Z definitely had enough experience fighting smart and keeping on her toes to hang with Wanda long enough to get in a finishing blow.
While there were definitely versions of this battle that could have ended with Wanda victorious, Zatanna's cooler head and effortless magic allowed her to prevail.
I guess you could say Wanda never saw it coming, and Zatanna Maxim offed her.
Nasty.
Winner is Zatanna.
Wow, that was an L
Death
on
Battle
my
is
side.
back, and we've launched a brand new
And
membership program for our YouTube channel.
I don't know, I hope the
Directly
next
support
one
our
I'll
team.
get it
You'll get
right
emotes,
unlike
badges, and
before,
additional
but
content, and a
I still
bunch more.
fucking try,
Click the
bro.
join
Like,
button to
these
see
things
more
are still
info, and
fun
thanks so
and
much for watching.
entertaining to watch. Next time, who was it? This dude from JoJo, I'm sorry. Jojo versus Tanjiro. I'ma be honest, I'ma say JoJo. You know what, fuck it, I'ma stick with the gang. Demon Slayer, I've watched Demon Slayer, but not JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, so most likely I'm gonna lose. But still, I'm down for the gang, down for the team, down for whatever. I'm still locking it in right now. Tanjiro, you're gonna lose, but I'm still gonna stick with you to the fucking very end. So yeah, with that said, please win, Tanjiro. You're gonna lose, but please win. So I'ma see y'all later.